Psalm 60 is a prayer for restoration and victory attributed to David. The psalmist begins by acknowledging God's rejection of his people and his withdrawal from them in the face of defeat. He describes the distress and confusion that have befallen them, expressing his desire for God to restore his favor and grant them victory over their enemies. The psalmist reflects on the consequences of God's rejection, acknowledging the devastation that has been wrought upon his people. He describes their struggle against their enemies and their cries for help, affirming their trust in God's deliverance. Despite their setbacks, the psalmist expresses confidence in God's faithfulness and his promise to give them victory. In the midst of his reflection, the psalmist affirms his trust in God's sovereignty and his ability to fulfill his promises. He recalls God's declaration of victory over the land of Shechem and his promise to divide up the land among his people. The psalmist resolves to continue trusting in God's unfailing love and to offer sacrifices of thanksgiving and praise to Him. The psalm concludes with a declaration of praise and thanksgiving to God. The psalmist affirms his trust in God's deliverance and expresses his gratitude for His mercy and provision. He resolves to continue praising God and trusting in His unfailing love, confident that He will answer his prayers and grant him victory over his enemies. Psalm 60 serves as a reminder of the importance of trusting in God's sovereignty and His promises, even in the midst of adversity and defeat. Let's now read Psalms chapter 60. To the chief musician upon Shushan-Negeth, Michtam of David, to teach, when he strove with Aram-Naharaim and with Aram-Zobah, when Joab returned, and smote of Edom in the valley of Salt 12,000, O God, Thou hast cast us off, Thou hast scattered us. Thou hast been displeased, O turn thyself to us again. Thou hast made the earth to tremble, Thou hast broken it, heal the breaches thereof, for it shaketh. Thou hast showed thy people hard things, Thou hast made us to drink the wine of astonishment. Thou hast given a banner to them that fear Thee, that it may be displayed because of the truth. Selah. That Thy beloved may be delivered, save with Thy right hand, and hear me. God hath spoken in His holiness, I will rejoice, I will divide Shechem, and mete out the valley of Succoth. Gilead is mine, and Manasseh is mine, Ephraim also is the strength of mine head, Judah is my lawgiver. Moab is my washpot, over Edom will I cast out my shoe, Philistia, triumph thou because of me. Who will bring me into the strong city? Who will lead me into Edom? Wilt not thou, O God, which hadst cast us off? And thou, O God, which didst not go out with our armies? Give us help from trouble, for vain is the help of man. Through God we shall do valiantly, for He it is that shall tread down our enemies. This ends our reading of Psalms chapter 60.